What happens when you leave 1,000 Minecraft players on 4 different deserted islands? What kind of civilizations do they build? Who will succeed, and who will die? That's the question a YouTuber named Ish sought to answer when he created a 1,000 player Minecraft civilization experiment, and I was one of those players. Here's my story. When the first day started, I spawned on the east side of the Plains Island. The first thing I had to do was make contact with my faction. You see, before the event even started, people were already forming their own groups, and I was given a random invite to join one from a player named Phoebaz. I didn't know a single person in the whole event, so I decided to join up with them. The faction I ended up joining was called the Invisible Hand, a group of hardcore capitalists, so hardcore that they considered capitalism their religion. Rather unorthodox beliefs aside, the people were nice, and I had nothing to lose, so I decided to join them. Everyone else in the Invisible Hand was also on the Plains Island, and we decided to meet up around here to begin our settlement.
Yep.
Hey, buddies!
I think this is the highest ground.
What's up, bros? I've arrived.
As a whole, the Invisible Hand had around 25 people, and we had 3 leaders. There's Phoebaz, our Archbishop,
You're horrible at your job.
20JP, our Prophet,
Money.
and Eki, our Apostle. If you're curious, here's a full list of the members. You'll be seeing them throughout, but you don't really need to memorize them. Anyway, aside from finding each other, food was the biggest focus of the first day. For the most part, we had to take what little food we could get in the form of glowberries from nearby caves and the wheat we were farming.
I mean, things are going great, except for the fact that there's a slight food shortage, but we're not in any immediate danger yet.
Hey, we're doing better than those communists, surely.
Well, the issue is we don't have bread, and that was sort of the whole thing we were making fun of them for, so,
Yeah, well, at least we have bread lines. They have lines.
Lines of what?
Nothing, because there's no food.
Our town was starting to grow, with everyone building their own little house. I built mine using 3 trees as a bit of a frame for my walls, and I think the leafy roof is pretty cool. Almost as cool as the tiny castle
the Holy Cheese
built.
What's up, Mr. Cheese?
Hello, Slayer.
We also did a lot of mining, and while I was in the caves, one of our faction members, Cosmic Chrome, died. What was so odd is that he never came to our town to meet with us, and he died far away, so we have no idea what happened to him. Nevertheless, we honored him with his own tombstone in our town. If you didn't know, in this event, if you die, you don't come back, unless you're some sort of holy prophet or something. Someone who we didn't honor was our leader Phoebaz, who tricked us into thinking he died by typing a death message into chat.
The mods are underground.
I'm pretty sure Ish came
mod, okay.
because he spilled
Oh, wait,
out
what?
in the chat.
B?
Wait,
What?
you guys died?
Oh. Dude, you trolled? Did you troll us? Oh my god.
Okay, someone give me a lava bucket. You broke my heart, so I need to make sure it stays broken.
Other than that though, day 1 was just normal Minecraft with everyone trying to survive and collect resources. By day 2, we started to notice something. We have no iron. On the first day, some of us were successful with mining iron, but even those who had it already ran out.
Why is it we're finding so many diamonds but not enough iron?
This day was also even worse in terms of food, since on day 1 they gave us a little bit of free saturation at the start, but that was no longer the case.
If you can, every max, 1 bread. I just need 1.
However, it wasn't all bad. On this day, we got some string from killing spiders. We used this to craft a fishing pole, and the fish we caught increased our food supply by a lot. One of our members also got a skeleton to kill a creeper, which just so happened to drop disc 11, or as I like to call it, the Herobrine disc. And boy did we play it, even the one and only Ish came out to jam with us.
Get off of the jukebox so we have a better shot.
Yeah.
Don't look at Ish, look at the jukebox.
Okay.
Hey, put it back in.
After this, I decided to go off alone and meet some of our neighbors. Right next to our settlement was another Plains Island faction known as the Oasis, which our faction had already agreed to be friends with. They were very welcoming, and one gentleman even offered me a pufferfish, and me, also being a gentleman, could not refuse this generous offering.
free puffer crystals, Co.
Gift of pufferfish.
You have to eat it. You can't be rude.
No, you can't eat That's when they take
I gave him some emeralds. I gave him some emeralds to make up for it. I ate the pufferfish.
Why did you do that?
Why did they do that?
Just because I wanted to. It would have been rude if I didn't.
Yeah, I ate it. Not the best idea in general, but thankfully I lived after I crawled into a hole and waited for the poison to stop killing me. Very soon after I got back, our village was visited by representatives of Pandaris, which was by far the most populated and large faction on the entire Plains Island.
Yo, guys, there's like 10 people here. There was Pandaris.
Pandaris. Okay, 1 second. Let's get over there.
They were friendly, and I put down some signs that would absolutely ensure they would be nice to us in the future. The last thing I did this day was visit the Central Island. This island was home to a faction known as the Tavern, which was a group that seeked to build their own bar-type establishment which would be a neutral zone for different factions to meet up in. At this point I'd only seen a little bit of the island, so it was pretty cool to get out there and see what was going on. Day 3 is when something many of us were dreading happened. PvP was enabled. Now any faction could declare war on whoever they wanted, and we weren't exactly ready. However, to our surprise, not a single conflict broke out on the Plains Island. It was all rather peaceful. That wasn't the case everywhere, though. On this day, rumors flooded in from other islands about war, famine, and political instability, and there was a good amount of deaths that we saw in chat, which left us wondering when war would come to the Plains as well. Far from the chaos we expected, this was actually our most prosperous day. It was the first time we had a secure supply of food, our mining expeditions were going well, and we even got enough diamonds for a lot of us to make armor.
I actually have enough for like, what is this, almost 3 sets of diamonds. This is kind of insane.
I haven't ever even seen a spider.
We also started work on what would be one of the most ambitious and stylish builds of any of the islands. The monastery. It was designed to be a massive stone behemoth, which would house all of our living quarters, buildings, and daily necessities inside. In the center would be a garden, with the fingers of the invisible hand reaching out from under, with our 4 signature flowers along with it. That was the plan anyway. It would take a few days to see our vision fully realized. On day 4 and 5, I didn't record a webcam, so pretend whatever I'm doing up here is me playing the game. Throughout day 4, the monastery was slowly completed, but we were starting to run out of andesite. Seeing this, Eki and I traveled across the land to strike a deal to get some. Turns out the people who were offering the trade only had 2 stacks of it, so it was pretty much a waste of time. At least I got to find out about the Worm and Trout, a people who worshipped worms, I think? I don't know, it's another weird cult. Other than all that stuff, day 4 is when most of us got our first diamond armor. We also began enchanting our equipment, and I was one of the few people lucky enough to get a Fortune 3 pickaxe. Meanwhile, our 2 leaders, Phoebos and 20JP, were heading to the tavern. Also there were leadership from the other 3 largest Plains factions, Oasis, Pandaris, and the United Plains State, or UPS for short.
In order to actually bring peace to the Plains, to unite and have one united army and one unit fighting against foreign aggressors, the big 4 in the Plains decided to come together and make a mutual defense pact.
By day 5, the monastery was completed and people were moving in. However, there were a few more things that needed some work. The garden had yet to be fully planted, and we had no way to get blue orchids at our home base. You see, blue orchids only spawn in the swamp biome, and the only place like that on the whole Plains Island was the middle. So it was time for an expedition. I took a boat over to the middle island, and upon arrival, I made sure the local inhabitants would be friendly and then got to work taking their flowers. With that done, I headed home. Shortly after I got back, we were visited by none other than Ish, who came to ask what the hell we were doing.
Yesterday I was going around looking at builds from the overviewer that I have, and I see this thing. What the crap?
Well, this is the monastery. Money-stery, I need to enunciate, of the Invisible Hand.
By the way, this footage was provided by 20JP. He also made a video on his experience during this event, which you should totally check out. In other news, we got yet more rumors from the outside world. First of all, from north of the Plains Island, there was a group known as the Church of Spring. Apparently, there were another cult that worshipped their leader, Spring Seasons, and today, Spring was self-executed on the church steps. This led to the faction's collapse. Also collapsing was the jungle island, figuratively and literally. Day 6 was quite the spectacle to behold. The start of the day was average enough, with the faction members monkeying about, which included our new member Frenchie. At this point, we had abandoned our old town, and everything we needed was within the monastery. Later on, almost all of the Invisible Hand took a trip into the nation of Pandaris for one thing in particular. They had a fully functioning KFC. That's right, I spent this day eating KFC with the boys.
Yeah, they do.
Hey guys! Hey!
Everyone get to your seats. Everyone go to seats.
This is awesome.
I want to do back there.
Oh,
This
thank
is
you.
Chipotle, not fast food.
I brought my own chicken.
Alright guys, shout out to Spood. Shout out to Spood because he really did us good. I got some nice, delicious chicken and milk.
Let's just suddenly siege Pandaris for no reason.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's just like take over their KFC and be like, alright, nobody's coming in until we get all the diamonds. Afterward, we went to the tavern and sampled their supply of beers.
Hey, do we want to go to the tavern just for fun?
We can all just head to the tavern.
There's so many of us.
Just say we go to these picks up.
Yeah.
We're all sitting at the chairs. There's not enough chairs.
I'm gonna sit on the counter then. Sit on the counter then. And why is am I the only person who sees Monkey just crawling on the floor?
Yeah, I see it too.
Yeah. I'm already very drunk and already.
Holy cheese, don't go behind the counter.
Oh, okay.
I got impaled.
I'll just go on the counter then.
Alright, I'm getting drunk, guys. I'm doing it. Oh. Ugh.
They're out of drinks.
Aww.
Beer's on the way.
Oh, these guys have no sheep.
They have sheep. I saw
They
them.
have 2 sheep. But they're different colors.
Alright, I'm gonna save 1 beer for home so I can put it in on my wall.
Yeah, I got one too. I'm like a row in my inventory is a bunch of like relics from other places.
Why do Pandaris keep dying from Enderman? Alright,
such a
alright, we got
productive
we
day.
got a few. Yeah, we just drank beer.
Yeah,
We just, we just improved the home a little bit and drank beer. Honestly, though,
I went to
let's be
KFC.
real. Let's be real. This has been the most fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just yesterday was fun too.
I'm still disappointed. We didn't get to take over the KFC.
That would have been a
We
bad
totally
idea,
should've
though.
done
That would have been an international incident.
It would have been funny though.
While we did have a lot of fun today, we ended up ignoring the fact that the borders between islands had been dropped, and some very interesting stuff happened the next day because of that. Day 7 is when things got real. Let me explain. We are hearing rumors that the leader of the United Plains State, Sidefall, was working with a Snow Island faction known as Aculon to invade and destroy the Plains Island. Due to this rumor, a group of Oasis, Invisible Hand, and Pandaris warriors, including me, gathered together and attacked Sidefall's nation of UPS. Since all 4 nations were supposed to be allies, this was sort of like a civil war, but nobody actually died because Sidefall agreed to our demands of a fair trial at the tavern. This fact did not stop me from taking the opportunity to raid all their wheat farms, though.
I'm just gonna take their crops. Might as well take this time to take advantage of them.
This is incredibly rude, coming in and trampling all of our crops, honestly.
You guys deserve it!
You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm very confident, because I know for a fact I did nothing wrong. Nothing of what you have accused me of.
Sidefall, you are accused of high treason of plains, conspiring with foreign nations such as Aculon of Snow, to launch a fallen invasion on your behalf on the plains. What do you have to say in your defense?
Where's proof? Need proof?
The trial was mostly going Sidefall's way, with the one guy who had evidence against him not even showing up.
We do have one person, but unfortunately he's not online today.
That's so convenient, bro.
But the entire thing was blown up, you could say, after the news of a terrorist attack in Pandaris.
I don't understand why you guys believe this.
Can some of the Pandaris guard please run back to Pandaris? Someone just exploded a TNT in the city. I've got news that this person is called Trinktop. If you can arrest him and bring him here.
I'm in the city right now. I'm looking around.
You see, a player known as Trinktop was secretly planning a terrorist attack in Pandaris to frame Sidefall and get him removed from leadership, and he admitted this in the middle of the trial.
Trinktop, why did you actually do the terrorist attack in Pandaris 2 minutes ago?
Why did I do it? Well, I will admit I was spreading misinformation about Sidefall. And the,
What?
And the TNT was a distraction. It was an elaborate plan, and it didn't work out, because here we all are now.
So
why was this a distraction? To get Sidefall out?
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason. Where did he go?
So Trinktop. So there's
where's
actually.
Trinktop? Where's Trinktop?
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Go, 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 go!
Oh, he ran.
Needless to say, that caused some chaos, and one of our members, Frenchie, chased Trinktop for the next 30 minutes, trying to duel him.
I want him alive. I want him alive. Do not actually kill him. Where did he go? Where did he go?
Okay.
Trinktop, go. Well.
Yo, he's trying to get out of
really
here.
Need to do something at my nation, so
Yeah, you guys do all that. Mindless. You are declared innocent until proven guilty.
Let's go.
Sidefall, love you.
We win.
Sidefall, I am sorry.
Bye, Sidefall, love you.
Sidefall was exonerated. After that hot mess of a trial, we headed back to our base and saw the new banners we had been gifted for our shields, which I actually designed myself. Very cool.
Everyone, go to one street. I've got our flags, our new flags.
Oh! Nice!
Yeah, you need to
really?
go. I need to go. So
Hey,
just,
Phoebus!
like, keep going. Hi.
Oh, yes, there they are.
Just keep going.
nice.
I'm gonna go off.
Yeah.
Get the spanners and put them in your shields, okay?
Amazing, thank you.
I love this banner. It's very invisible hand.
We also started seeing visitors from other islands. After all, this was the first full day where the borders between the islands were dropped, so many were eager to visit abroad and see how things were going. We also wanted to visit one of the islands, and the closest one to us was Snow, so we all decided to go there. However, all three of our leaders were busy, so I decided to lead this expedition. And so, it was up to me to pick the crew that would accompany me.
Everyone who wants to go,
I
wait.
I
so wait.
Wants to go, you should pick.
Alright, I want to... I don't know, Aether
Let's
and
go.
Big Talum.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Sweet.
Alright, is there anybody, like, recording? Because if you want to record the
Oh yeah, I'm
visit...
recording.
Wait,
I've
wait.
been recording this entire
Sorry,
time.
which one are you again?
Overclock.
Overclocked? Do you want to visit too?
Sure.
Alright, Overclocked, Big Talum, and Aether. Let's go.
When we got there, we met up with Holy Cheese and got acquainted with the natives.
Just a massive wasteland of
North
snow. There's
Star?
nothing here.
This is the population 14.
Sure.
14.
Sure to be a lot more small villages like this.
We then visited the Snow Island's biggest faction, which just so happened to be Aculon.
I think I might have found you guys.
Oh yeah, this is Aculon. This guy got
Found ya.
executed, I think.
Hey,
I saw.
found ya.
Hey, Holy! There you are. Alright, now we have our 5.
While most of their members weren't there, we did talk to a few, giving them gifts to let them know we were peaceful.
I'll give him 10 gold.
I'm gonna give him some cobblestone too.
We also ran into Legacy, a player well known in the first season of Ish's Minecraft State.
Hey guys, it's Legacy over there.
Legacy? Oh.
Yeah, Legacy.
It's Reef.
I don't know, it sounds familiar, but...
Yes, he was from the first video. He was the guy who just chilled in the jungle with his parrot.
Oh,
yeah, I remember this guy. Legend.
Maybe we fanboyed a bit too much because he left shortly after I started throwing babies at him. After this, we left the Snow Island and went home, but we got a bit lost and some of us almost died to powdered snow, which would have been a really lame way to go. That rhymed. Day 8 was another slow news day, at least for us, since we spent the entire first half of it on an expedition to the Middle Island. Now, I hear what you're saying. You never mentioned a Middle Island. Well, throughout the event, there were rumors about this so-called Fifth Island. The event staff mentioned the existence of it, but nothing about it was known. Well, it turns out this island, which we had all dubbed Death Island, had a secret stash of netherite.
So wait, someone just said there's netherite at the mid-island.
Alright.
What?
Wait, what? What is it?
I think it's a myth.
It might be fake though, it might be fake
It's
though, it might be
probably a myth.
At first we didn't actually believe there was netherite at the Middle Island, and some of us were convinced it was a trap, but our allies at Pandaris actually went there and told us there was, so we decided to get the faction together and go there with the help of the awesome Interstate Highway. Thanks, Interstate Highway builders. As for the expedition itself, it was pretty much a waste of time. We ended up finding nothing, and the island was almost completely barren.
You know, I'm starting to get the feeling that this whole island is just a death trap, and like they haven't put the trap there yet.
I think it's controlled.
So then, we took our boats home, and then this happened.
There's something glowing in the bottom of the ocean. I'm investigating that. Let's go. Alright.
Oh, yeah, let's check that out.
Everybody's gonna drown.
What's going on? What's
Actually,
going
how
on,
about
guys?
glowing in the water?
Are you sure it's not a glow squid?
It's a glow squid.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, who's hitting me? It's not a glow squid. It's like a light source.
No, wait. Looks like just a cave. Come on.
Guys, don't drown down there.
Yeah,
please.
guys, be
Don't
careful.
drowning. That's cringe. You drown.
Yeah,
Get up
drowning
here
is
before you get
anti-capitalist because your lungs being filled with water doesn't help the economy.
What?
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 Wait, did I drown?
Oh,
Yeah.
no way.
Okay, I've got it recorded. It's a glitch. Everyone keep going. Grab my stuff.
Oh my god.
Grab my stuff. Keep going. I'm going to submit a ticket.
We were all quite stunned, to say the least, but this is when I had an epiphany. Once I got home, I gathered a collection of the island's most ancient texts and brought them to a cave that I had built. This would be my oracle's den, where I would tell fortunes and make prophecies using supreme knowledge granted to me from the island's oldest books. And one of the prophecies that had come to me involved the return of 20JP after he drowned in the ocean earlier that day. His death didn't seem right to me, almost as if he didn't actually die, but was transported to a different physical plane. I wrote several stories which foretold his return, but time would only tell if this prophecy would come true. Before the day ended, however, our faction would have one more death. Angry Max couldn't be there for the last few days, sadly, and decided to go out in a blaze of glory by jumping to his death from the world height limit. I was there to witness this, although it saddened me to see.
Goodbye, Angry Max.
3, 2, 1. Okay, guys. Woo! Hit the clip. He didn't. That's so sad. Oh,
The death of a good man.
Rest in pain.
He will be missed.
Good luck, guys.
He will be missed.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, you'll be missed. Yeah.
Before I tell the events of Day 9, there's some context that needs to be explained. The day before, we had some very troubling news from the Snow Island's dominant faction, Aculon. Their leader, Alanulo, executed a few of Aculon's most notable citizens. This alienated many people in Aculon, who fled their lands and came to us, asking the FedEx Alliance to invade Aculon and overthrow Alanulo. The leaders of the FedEx nations had a lot to think about, and had yet to make a final decision. These events were mostly happening in the background though, because when the day started, our faction was completely focused on the return of none other than 20JP. That's right, my prophecy stating that he would return came true. And due to my ingenious prophecy coming true, my newly opened Oracle Cave was swamped with customers wanting their prophecies to be told.
Alright, I have deliberated, and Eki, your prophecy is, what once was a man who established his farm with just chickens shall now become the greatest warrior in all of the hands.
I most certainly want my portion. It's a matter of national security.
Yeah, I have
Okay,
to...
fine. Fair enough.
Alright, this one just says there's communists on my walls. I need a more helpful ancient text.
Wait, communists in the walls?
No, that's just like...
Someone in this building is a communist.
No.
Nobody gets to leave.
Oh. Oh, that's not the
After this, we heard a speech from 20JP, who we were still shocked to see back with us after seeing him die.
Unfortunately, as many of you have noticed, I ceased to exist in this world yesterday. But the reasons why, I'm going to have to go a little bit further.
20JP wasn't the only one being revived, though. A player that had died 3 days ago with the username Jesus the Savior had come to our base, giving us stacks of bread and fish while flying around.
Guys, Jesus is at the base. You'll come back to the monastery.
Oh my god.
No way! Hold up, I need some of this bread.
Jesus, you're not welcome.
Oh, he's giving us fish! It's just like the real Jesus.
Jesus!
He's trespassing, but he's getting food. I don't.
No, he's trespassing.
I'm tempted to kill him right now.
No, don't kill Jesus!
Kill Jesus!
Literally, don't kill Jesus.
Truly a sight to behold. All seemed well in the land of the invisible hand, but it wouldn't be forever. A conflict was on the horizon, and it came from the place we least expected.
Yo guys, there's a KFC in Oasis as well.
There is?
Really?
Not long after 20JP's speech, a player named NerdGV was posting enemy propaganda. I, seeing this and being a good upstanding citizen, decided to put a bounty on his head, although it wasn't a real bounty because I had no reward. In response, he put a bounty on my head as well. I wasn't really concerned about this because the Plains Island had seen a number of joke bounties in the past, but then he announced that he was traveling to the Invisible Hand's base.
Hey guys, NerdGV's coming to our base.
What purpose?
Murder?
Are we gonna have to defend ourselves?
If he's coming to our base, we need some people to protect it.
So I had to be on the lookout because I had no idea what this guy had planned. Later on in the day, me and a few other Invisible Hand members go to a KFC in Oasis, hoping to have a similarly fun experience to the one in Pandoris. But no, this visit did not go well. Firstly, the service was pretty bad. It took them 10 minutes to get our food, and when we did get it, some of it was uncooked. We also ordered chicken milk, but when it arrived, it was actually just cow's milk, which they attempted to cover up. Obviously, I noticed. If that wasn't bad enough, though, one of our guys, Holy Cheese, tried to go back there and help them since they were taking so long, and the owner, FieryXGamer, got super mad about it. It was just about the worst KFC experience I've ever had, so I left a bad review. After this, we went home, and this is where the two stories collide. Because after this, NerdGV, who is threatening to kill me, came to Oasis and the KFC owner, Fiery, announced that Nerd was under their protection. After this, a gang of Oasis thugs led by Fiery came to demand payment and an apology for the quote-unquote chaos that we caused at their KFC, with NerdGV right there with them.
Wait, who did Nerd friend again?
Eki, get back here! We might start shooting at them.
No, we're not gonna shoot. Just talk to them.
Get rid of the bows. Put your gun down. Put your gun down.
Remember, all we did at their KFC was go behind the counter and break a single block and then replace it. We didn't even steal anything or grief the restaurant, and even paid in full despite the terrible service. But here they were demanding we give them free iron.
Yeah.
No reason.
Eki, why are you trying to be reasonable?
Yeah,
Okay,
can't you just give them a couple buckets and get them to calm down? Is it worth potentially losing one or two people from Invisible
We
Hand?
won't give any buckets because any compensation at all shows weakness.
Obviously, we weren't keen on this, especially because they were threatening to walk into the monastery. The thing about the monastery is that nobody outside of the Invisible Hand was allowed inside, for the most part. We didn't even allow visitors to come in, let alone angry mobs of soldiers demanding money from us. If they were to walk in without permission, that would be an act of war. So we had this back and forth, exchanging negotiations and threats, with them standing outside our base and then going back and forth between talks at our base and at their base. The leaders of both the Invisible Hand and the Oasis were at a meeting. In fact, they were actually at the same meeting with the other allied nations, so there was no leadership in the area that could resolve this dispute. This went on for about 20 minutes of non-stop tension when it all came to a head when 20JP announced in chat that according to the other leaders, NerdGV was kill on sight. This led to an even more tense standoff. The only thing stopping us from killing Nerd right there in cold blood was the gang of warriors surrounding him. If fighting broke out, people were going to die. At this point, we sent a demand that they surrender NerdGV to us so we can put them on trial, but they refuse and close off their base, which began the KFC War.
What are you guys doing at KFC?
We're not at KFC.
Hey, guys, what should we do? I'm inside of Oasis. Should we go inside Oasis and capture Nerd?
No.
Pull back. We don't want to do this battle in
Get
Oasis. We
get
need to make a
back to the
plan here.
monastery.
We need to go back to the monastery and make a plan.
Okay,
Yeah,
we need to.
they're protecting Nerd, by the way, Oasis.
Okay, we need to. What?
Should we put him on trial?
Yeah. Well,
Nerd.
That's a little bit far. What did he do? That's the question.
Guys, I know what he did. He did degenerated acts with sheep.
where is this guy? Oasis.
We've got to capture him. He's a degenerate. He's done wrong things.
Oasis
I just shot Fiery, lol.
The entire nation has been threatening to
Oh god. Yeah, we're gonna die now. We're gonna die.
After several minutes of rising tensions, I shot him. This, surprisingly, did not ease tensions, with the Invisible Hand and Oasis both claiming the other has gone rogue. After a couple minutes of panic, the leaders took a break from their meeting to demand a peaceful resolution.
I was in the middle of an important meeting, and we had to leave to deal with this.
Both of our factions were ordered to return home, and we did. However, we made a plan to come back and destroy the Oasis later.
After the war, we come straight here and we raid them.
Yeah, why don't we wait till after the war to kill them?
Yeah, why don't we?
That would be interesting.
Because that would definitely make the post credits.
A large portion of our faction was legitimately planning on defecting from the FedEx Alliance. However, these plans were permanently put on hold when later in the day, NerdGV just dies. He just dies.
Yes.
Oh, he died! Nerd died!
Oh,
Nerd
yeah.
died! Whoa.
Oh my god.
Yes! Mission accomplished, boys.
We don't really know why he died either, but with his death, most of our reason for feuding with the Oasis had died with him. I even made up with Fiery X Gamer and told him his prophecy. And thus ends the KFC War, the most ridiculous and spontaneous conflict in the history of the Plains Island, with only one shot fired during the war. Yesterday, I mentioned a brewing conflict with the nation of Aculon, and today, that would come to pass. The leaders of FedEx agreed to lead an assault on Aculon's base, and since Aculon was the only other powerful nation left outside of the plains, this would be the war to end all wars. The armies of the plains were gathered on Death Island, and we were joined by some warriors from the remnants of the jungle and desert islands hoping to get in on the action. Even some defectors from Aculon were among our ranks. After some preparations, we set sail for the Snow Island. When we finally got to Aculon's homeland, we saw this. They had built this insane tower that they called the Iron Torch. Their entire home was abandoned, and they had planned on making their final stand here, in this huge tower that went up to build limit. At the top was the entire faction of Aculon, which was armed to the teeth, and inside of the tower itself was nothing but lava, a truly impenetrable defense. This would require a siege. And not any normal siege. We would have to build the tallest towers that you can build in Minecraft to even have a chance at reaching them. A few of us started building, but anyone who got too close to the base was immediately met with a storm of arrows, so we started building towers further from their base. We also employed the use of water to prevent fall damage. Despite our precautions, we were still far from safe.
I feel like any second I'm about to get jumped by like 3 people.
I'm feeling canared. Dude, they really have a volley of arrows.
I see a dead body.
Dead body reported.
Dead body reported.
Ow. I'm hit. Again.
Jeez. Oh, dude, they really brought up their arrow game. They're shooting like crazy.
At this point, our army was losing people left and right, while their casualties were negligible. We were making progress, though. Our siege showers were slowly building higher and higher. At this point, we were getting so very close to breaching their defenses. We were practically in spitting distance from their stronghold when something shocking happened. The leader of Aculon was dead. A member of Aculon betrayed Alanulo while he was focused on firing arrows, causing him to fall to his death. However, this did not end the war. Despite the death of their leader, they still held a defensive advantage, and we still had not reached their walls. At this point, a large fraction of the invading force had died, but no invisible hand members yet. This was about to change. Eki, after entering combat, killed one of Aculon's soldiers and then was himself killed.
Eki got a kill! I saw Eki get a kill.
Well done, Eki. Well done, Eki.
Eki got a kill?
Oh, Eki
yeah.
got killed! Eki's dead.
No!
Eki's dead.
Eki, no!
No!
His heart was too good for this world.
He was not the only one. Lyrig, during the heat of battle, was knocked off the tower and ended up falling into lava, then dying shortly after. Despite this, the armies of FedEx began to finally breach their defenses, and once the walls were penetrated, it was over. The battle had been won. Most of Aculon had either been killed or surrendered, with only a few members successfully fleeing the battle. It was finally over. The day after the war, our members gathered around to see 20JP give one last speech, and none other than Ish himself, the man who started all of this, was there to see it.
That I hereby dissolve the Invisible Hand as a faction and begin its new life as a religion. We were never meant to be holed up in this monastery for all our lives doing nothing. Our job is to go out. Our job is to go and spread capitalism to other nations. So after this speech, this is meant to be a welcome spot, almost a second home, if you will, for you to come back to. But I need you all to go to other nations, make that your home, and make sure capitalism thrives the world and you spread the word of the Invisible Hand. My time here is done.
Oh my god! What the heck? What?
I want the sword. No.
What?
No.
No, come back to us, JP! No!
20JP ascended to the heavens and was never seen again. With his final words, he disbanded the Invisible Hand as a faction and instructed us to spread the teachings of the religion across the land. By the way, Ish actually stuck around for a conversation afterwards about the event and other stuff, so if you want to check that out, the raw footage will be in the description. With the faction gone and all of us left to our own devices, we all did something different. I built a few cenotaphs to honor our fallen members. Frenchie finally got that duel he wanted with Trinktop and won, and Big Talem traveled the lands, spreading the way of the Invisible Hand. I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a big undertaking. The event was amazing, thanks to Ish. Definitely check out his video if you haven't seen it, and also check out 20JP's video. And check out other videos from other people who made videos. If you made a video, tell me about it. If you were in the event, tell me about it.
Shut up. Imagine if someone just walked up to you, tore your clothes off, and like ran away.
That would be kind of trolling.
That's what we call trolling. Ripping people's clothes off prank gone right.
I guess that he's just.
Oh, man.